You were under the impression, before you offered the defendant any money, that he was committed to you under a lease that would expire in January of
2023.
And you offered him this money in June, and therefore he had an obligation to pay you rent for an additional 5 months. And how much was the rent?
$2,200 a month.
21. So we're talking about somewhere around
11 grand.
$11,000. And you offered him a settlement of $4,000 after you did a walkthrough of the premises. Am I correct?
Yes.
But now you want to charge him an additional $500?
At the time of the walkthrough, the smell of the house was so unbearable.
Yeah, I said that.
If I was to let on that I want him out of the house, evict him or anything, I was fearing more damage. This is not my first rodeo.
No, I understand all of that.
So,
but when you offered him $4,000, that was your way of saying, get out, let's close the deal. I don't want you in the house anymore because I'm afraid it's going to get worse.
Yes.
And he agreed.
He agreed.
So why should he owe you any cleaning fees? You were aware that there were issues.
Yes, well, I had to clean the house and get it rentable again as per the lease.
Judge Tawalda?
Mr. Nagra, you looked at Mr. Richardson's home on 2 different occasions. The first occasion was when...
Just once.
Well, it says here, in May, I finally did a walkthrough.
Yes.
I discovered that the home was uninhabitable.
That's the only time
And there was
I
an
saw it.
unbearable smell.
That's the only time I saw it.
He never saw it.
But then you say you did a walkthrough when he moved out.
No, I didn't do a walkthrough. I gave him his money and wanted him gone. I just
That's-
wanted
When
possession
did
of the
you... Okay,
property.
you say you only went there once?
That's a lie.
I went there once until he gave me
When?
the keys, which is in May sometime.
That's a lie.
And then when he gave you the keys, that was when?
July. And at that time, I told him, I said, I'm going to only give you $3,000 and I'm going to keep $1,000 in case there's any outstanding bills. And he got upset and
You didn't say that in your
I
complaint.
know,
My point is that
I forgot and then I
when
told,
you saw his place in May, you saw the condition that it was in because you wanted him out.
yes.
That's false.
Why would you then make a deal with him to give him his entire security deposit that's dated July 1st,
Yes.
but you saw it in a condition where he didn't clean up or do a deep clean or all the stuff that we saw in that video?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that in May, his place would have been worse than when you saw it in July
Yes.
because he actually attempted to clean in July.
He never did a walkthrough.
If I would have told him I want you evicted and started an eviction process, he
Why
would
would
have
you
been
offer to give him his entire security deposit when you
Because
saw his place and you
I'm
probably...
cutting my losses at that point. That's what I'm saying. It would have cost me.
I mean, you just kind of admitted that what you did was you said, we've got a deal because I want you out. And now you're saying, oh, well, I didn't like that deal that I gave him to get out. I just made it because I wanted him out.
Doesn't work that way. Any other questions?
No.
Great. Thank you both very much. Parties are excused while we deliberate in this matter.
Court is now in recess.
Okay, this is a fairly straight to the point case. You have the plaintiff who struck this deal with the defendant in order to get him out. If he hadn't struck this deal, he could have taken his damages from the security deposit.
Right.
I'm not inclined to give him the amount of, $437 for cleaning fees. That's something he should have collected from his security deposit. He forfeited that right. As far as the solar bill is concerned, the defendant admitted that he owes that. Easy. So I would award the plaintiff $510. The countersuit that the defendant has with regards to furniture he left behind, the plaintiff provided this receipt that says paid in full for all of the furniture pieces that he was getting and the amount that he paid. So I would dismiss the countersuit.
I agree in all respects.
Yeah, these two had a deal. They may not have liked the deal, but they each entered into it as a way to quickly dispose of a situation. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
They should have accepted the deal that they made. They should have accepted that they were compromising a little and gone their separate ways.
Yep.
They don't get to come back and redo the deal.
Great.
We have a verdict.
We have a verdict.
We do.